from Bangor, Pennsylvania. It is the Bangor Halloween Parade coming to you on Service Electric Cable TV and Communications. Good evening, everyone. Dan Ross along with Gwen Begley, and it is the witching hour here in Bangor. Always like the nighttime parades. It's a chance for everybody to be out here and kind of be someone else.
Exactly. We've seen a ton of great costumes, little kids really getting into the spirit. The adults are getting into the spirit as well, as we've seen the streets kind of fill up in the past hour.
So we have 3 divisions coming your way tonight, probably 35 or 40 different groups, a few special surprises, lots of great music, lots of great outfits, and one more great parade to bring your way here at Service Electric. Of course, Gwen, the theme for this year's parade, of course, it's brought to you by the Bangor Elks, and the theme is Back to the 50s. And kind of an interesting side note, we're leading off here with the Bangor police car, Officer Kevin Jones, but tell us a little bit about our Grand Marshal who's going to be coming up here pretty soon.
So usually when you picture a Grand Marshal, you picture a man, but this time it's man's best friend. Ido is a 5-year-old German Shepherd. A Belgian Malinois male. He was brought to the community from his home in Czech Republic. So he made a bit of a trip to get here. So in their efforts to kind of promote a drug-free environment here in Bangor, they brought this dog along to have a little canine situation here as the Grand Marshal.
Of course, the Bangor Elks have some information on these guys. The Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks has been a long-standing tradition of supporting our vets, our youth, the disabled, and the less fortunate in our communities. Lodge 1106. And I see candy already.
Can't have a parade without candy, Dan.
Tonight's parade will showcase the officers and members of Bangor Lodge 1106, along with Pennsylvania Elks Drug Awareness Trailer. And I believe that's coming up around the corner here pretty soon.
In order to get into the spirit of this protective order of elks, they brought along a mascot. It's an elk, and it is I hear it's a woman inside, which is fantastic. That's
yes.
great.
Yes, that is.
I always love to see woman mascots.
I think I do not have her name in front of me.
It's her birthday, though. I do know that.
It is her birthday.
So she's spending her birthday in Bangor at the parade.
Even though this is Elroy. This is Elroy the elk coming through here. The Elks do so much for the community, drug awareness being one of them. Even in smaller communities in today's age, that's something that communities are really pulling together to make more young people in particular aware of the dangers of drug abuse. But our major projects nurse is Deborah Penn. That is the I believe that's our next group here. Now we have Bangor Mayor Joe Capozzolo coming through.
He's throwing out candy as well. These kids on the sidelines.
And take a little pause here, followed by Bangor Slater Marching Band. Give them a little listen. it's always
a great
nice, Gwen, when we ditch the regular band uniforms and go in costume. I think that's much more interesting.
I was just going to say, usually see the traditional marching band gear, but this time each and every individual, they're dressed up in their own kind of sort of costume.
Of course, the Bangor Slater cheerleaders following up the band here this evening. And it is a beautiful fall night. It's actually more like a beautiful early September night.
Yeah, it's been
Almost
unseasonably warm.
Beautiful night for a parade.
Of course, the cheerleaders dressed up as well in kind of a Grease theme they've got going on there.
And I believe this is Black Cat coming up the street here. And with a giant martini glass. We have the American Cancer Society. Of course, that's one organization, nationwide and locally that does so much for the community to raise awareness and help people in need.
Absolutely. As we usually see with a lot of these parades, you get a lot of little kids on the floats. They're extremely excited to throw out candy. I'm sure they'll keep some of them for themselves.
Next up, we have the Slate Belt Girl Scouts. I think I asked you that the other day. You didn't have the opportunity to be a Girl Scout.
I did not. I joined Brownie Scouts, and then I got so caught up in lacrosse and swimming that I kind of fell off that.
Once sports happens, it's
Yes.
kind of hard to keep up with that. But these are great organizations. Do a lot of great work with young women and young men from Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and the like. And everyone's wearing their pink. They all have poodle skirts. Remember, our theme here for this evening is back to the 50s. Lots of candy piling up on the edges of the streets here.
Just hoping these kids keep safe and get off the street in time for the next float to come around.
Everything's moving pretty slowly here tonight, so I think we're okay.
Got
Next up,
Hope
the
Springs Community of Faith float. So they brought their own band along. And we saw a band on the back of a float in Coopersburg. Actually, this is only the second one I've seen in these parades. Another big theme is tractors. We've seen a lot of tractors at these parades.
I'm trying to see what the letters spell out. I can't make it. It's just a lot of letters.
Pluto, I think, yeah.
Oh.
Could only make out Pluto on the side of
Okay.
it. He's excited to be here.
This is really great. You know, every community kind of has its own personality here. And, of course, Service Electric's been covering the Bangor Parade for quite a few years. We've been all over the place. You and I were down at Coopersburg on Sunday, over to Mayes Saturday, all over the place. The Allentown Parade, of course. There's a Jack Frost Parade going on up toward Blue Mountain in Nazareth. Or
These
Northampton,
costumes
that is.
are great. They're really going all out in Bangor for these costumes.
And this is Perfectly Posh coming up here with our pink signs here.
So they're dressed nice and comfy for the evening.
Little dude has his little, what's he have? Are those Ninja Turtles?
Yes, they
Ninja
are.
Turtles bathrobe, okay. Now we have a float coming up here. This is, I believe, Girl Scout Troop 887. We were talking the other day about half the fun of being in the parade is getting ready for the parade. Of course, all the time it takes to build the float and get ready. And there is a 50s diner for you.
While it may be a short amount of time getting to show it off, it's all really worth it once you see, you know, kids' faces on the sidelines light up. Soda Pop Girls.
That's what's great about the Lehigh Valley. There's still some great little diners around and places like that where you can still get a chocolate malt. Right now we're looking at the Rosetto Cup Pack 36. Keeping the 50s theme going. Do you remember what LPs are? 45s? Actually, I hear vinyl's kind of coming back. So.
Absolutely. All my friends have their big records and collect vinyl.
Yep.
The T-Birds.
What's great with so many of the Cub Scouts, Girl Scout groups is the volunteerism that they promote and involvement in the community. Next up here is AAA Northampton County.
It's been multiple times AAA has saved my life.
Same here. Same here.
Big shout out to them for taking the time.
Well, it's really terrific. I mean, there's certainly, when you're traveling, there's AAA discounts available. That sort of thing. Back in the pre-Google Maps days, they would actually print out a thing called a triptych that would have all your maps laid out for you, so you know when you're planning a trip. But that's
I do remember using maps, actual
yes,
paper maps. I do remember maps. We went on a lot of road trips when I was a kid. And it's this Prince of Peace Church. I kind of combined peace and church there for a minute.
And they are followed directly behind the Peace Church float is the Bangor Pup Park Posse. Got a few doggies there. And then we want to get right to the beginning of our Division II, which is coming up here shortly. This is the Penn Argyll High School Band. And they're moving right up on us, so let's give them a listen. The high school band followed up by the Penn Argyll cheerleaders, Erin Debor.
Again, that band decided to dress up in their own personal costumes as well. I love that.
And next up we have Cub Scout Pack 14 Richmond float. You know what a Weeblo is?
I do not.
A Weeblo. That is, I think that's like your first rank that you get when you're in.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, it moves up a lot more than that when you get into merit badges and things like that.
I know Eagle Scouts. Is that part of Cub Scouts as well?
That's part of Boy Scouts. That's the ultimate. Okay. You have to get a bazillion. Merit badges. Well, but there's all kinds of stuff. There's first aid. There's cooking. There's. You know, I'm sure they've added a ton of merit badges in the electronic age now. But, it's really great. Great discipline for the kids, something they can really be proud of.
It's a great excuse to break out your old leather jacket, right, Dan? Do you have a leather jacket?
I do have a leather jacket. Yep. Yep. And now we have Joe Emmerich, state representative.
Driving my favorite car, Dan.
Oh, you gotta love Jeeps. Gotta love
One
Jeeps.
day.
Oh, more candy. Here we go.
Lots of candy on this one.
Lots of candy.
Now, I wonder if it's hard for these kids to throw out candy to other kids who want to keep it themselves.
You're used to catching
I know.
candy.
I would want to hoard it. such a lot of great costumes here.
Terrific costumes.
Not
tonight.
just 50s themed, you see a lot of different kinds of costumes.
But when you're a little kid, just the thought of being at a parade, walking down the street, it's a big deal. You know, it's really great.
Front and center. You see all your friends on the sideline supporting you.
That's right. Yeah, this is a gigantic group coming down.
Absolutely. It's
Actually, what we have here is the Bangor Slater Youth Football and cheerleaders.
a bunch of future Slaters coming down the street.
It seems like the kids start younger and younger, but this is definitely football country up here.
Absolutely.
It's probably never too early to start. Of course, the training's much better, the equipment's much better, but by the time these kids get to middle school and high school, they know more about football than
It's a way of life almost.
yeah, absolutely. Girls doing a little cheer here for the crowd tonight.
I feel like cheerleading starts younger and younger as well, too.
Certainly does. Certainly does.
Even at high school games, sometimes they bring their youth
They have the
cheer
kids out.
squad
I
out right
was
next
just gonna say that.
next to the varsity teams.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Let them come out and cheer. Looks like we have a little mascot here this evening, too.
Do you think that's their pregame chant?
Could be, could be.
Pregame routine.
Guys got some
they've
good
got.
moves there.
Showing off their Slater pride there.
Well, you have to thank all of the parents and the coaching staffs and everyone else that participates in youth sports. Quite a few of the individuals involved in that do so on a volunteer basis, and it's a lot of time.
We're getting quite the show here.
We are. Nice job, girls.
It's great that not only do they get to walk down the street and kind of show their Slater pride, they get to show off some of the stuff that they learn every day.
Let's see what we have coming up here next. This is Teal's Auction and Realty. Another 50s theme float. It's the, is this the prom?
It looks like the prom.
Looks like the prom.
Yes, absolutely. There's the big voluminous hair there that you always
A lot of big hair. A lot of big hair in the 50s.
Katie sings nothing but Engelbert Humperdinck. 13 years old.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
I love seeing the bands on the back of these floats. It's just an extra kind of flair that you bring if you know your company.
Oh, really. And I'm looking up around the corner. I hear the ooga. That's an ooga horn. This is
I learned that on Sunday.
These are the Tin Lizzies from the Shriners. Of course, the Shriners making their appearances at quite a few of the local parades here in the Lehigh Valley. And they do, well, if you look at the side of their vehicles here, Shriners help kids, and they certainly do. They're all about helping kids.
Doing a few laps. Show off their cars a bit.
Out of Easton, Pennsylvania.
Really not putting that horn to waste. stand.
I always like the Shriner guys. They always have cool hats.
See the look on the kids' faces. They want so badly to ride one of those cars. As do I.
Oh, now we have the big Raja Temple from the Shriners, the Raja Temple RV. This thing is monstrous.
Certainly can't miss that.
Now, I'm not sure exactly what this is. If this houses all of the Tin Lizzies that go around for all of these
I would assume so.
events. Could be. That's like
Certainly big enough to house
NASCAR
them.
level stuff there. That's great. In case you just joined us, Dan Ross along with Gwen Begley bringing you coverage of the Bangor Elks Halloween Parade. Back to the 50s is our theme tonight.
We got Buzz
What a cute
Lightyear.
little guy, Buzz Lightyear.
Having a great time along the sidelines.
And next up here we have the Merchants Bank float. Appears to be another 50s theme as we see it moving toward us here. I was saying earlier just the amount of time that goes into building these floats, but it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people. It's I guess in the corporate world it would be called team building. I just always thought it was just fun, you know.
Seems to be another diner theme.
So Grease Lightning.
A lot of old jukeboxes.
Oh yeah.
Now there's a milkshake on that float. I wonder if it's a real milkshake. I don't think it is, unfortunately.
I'm getting very thirsty for a chocolate malt. You know, very few places have malts anymore, you know. Next up here we have Learning Locomotion Group.
Writing their own 50s theme music.
From Bangor, Pennsylvania, it is the Bangor Halloween Parade coming to you on Service Electric Cable TV and Communications. Good evening, everyone. Dan Ross along with Gwen Begley, and it is the witching hour here in Bangor. Always like the nighttime parades. It's a chance for everybody to be out here and kind of be someone else.
Exactly. We've seen a ton of great costumes, little kids really getting into the spirit. The adults are getting into the spirit as well, as we've seen the streets kind of fill up in the past hour.
So we have 3 divisions coming your way tonight, probably 35 or 40 different groups, a few special surprises, lots of great music, lots of great outfits, and one more great parade to bring your way here at Service Electric. Of course, Gwen, the theme for this year's parade, of course, it's brought to you by the Bangor Elks, and the theme is Back to the 50s. And kind of an interesting side note, we're leading off here with the Bangor police car, Officer Kevin Jones, but tell us a little bit about our Grand Marshal who's going to be coming up here pretty soon.
So usually when you picture a Grand Marshal, you picture a man, but this time it's man's best friend. And Ido is a 5-year-old German Shepherd. He's a Belgian Malinois male. He was brought to the community from his home in Czech Republic. So he made a bit of a trip to get here. So in their efforts to kind of promote a drug-free environment here in Bangor, they brought this dog along to have a little canine situation here as the Grand Marshal.
Of course, the Bangor Elks have some information on these guys. The Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks has been a long-standing tradition of supporting our vets, our youth, the disabled, and the less. A cheerleading group like this, if they just do, you know, they're not affiliated with a particular school, that they can just go out and
Well, I know
cheer.
when I was little, there was always these different kind of organizations that got young girls into cheer that maybe their school didn't offer a cheer program.
Okay. Everyone's pretty in pink tonight. Their little pink dresses on. Of course, next up here with the lights flashing here is the Salvation Army. Disaster services. One other thing I wasn't aware that they provided. Again, when you think of these different organizations like the Salvation Army that have been around for as long as I can remember, and the great work that they do, and that so many of these. So many are volunteer-based.
Must be a motorcycle hiding behind there somewhere. I can hear it. Yeah, as we were saying, the Salvation Army, I try and donate all my old clothing, any, you know, old kitchenware that I have.
Well, when you
I
look
send
at
their way.
You look at these last couple hurricanes that have come through, and a lot of the folks in Haiti and some of these different countries that really didn't have a lot to begin with and have nothing now, so it really means a lot. We're kind of paused here a little bit. Of course, directly behind us is the judging table, so I think there's some extra
Showing off
performing.
for, yes.
Oh yeah, you have to show off for the judges. That's where you gotta.
That's the most important part.
You have to shine. That's right.
Aside from having fun, of course, that's the most important part.
Well, the parade's moving right along. They do a great job up here, the Bangor Police and all the volunteers. Of course, the Elks Club, the sponsors here. You know, there's a lot that goes into this, organizing it, you know, getting all of the entries. You know, really, you know, where does everybody park? Where do you start?
Yes,
what
yeah.
time do you leave? Of course, the police coming out and blocking off the roads.
Providing a safe environment.
Right, with a minimum of inconvenience to the folks that live in the neighborhood here. But,
it also must be fun for some of these people who live in the upstairs lofts of these houses here along the way.
Great.
You get a
yeah,
free
you'll
show.
see them looking out the windows. Sure, it's great.
If it was cold, it'd be even better because then you could just be in the heated
Very true.
comfort of your own home.
That completed Division 2. Now we're up with Division 3, and this is Flutation's Drum and Fife Corps. Let's give them a little listen here. Who could forget the king? Those Elvis.
I'm surprised we're not seeing more Elvis impersonators here at this parade, especially with the
Pretty
theme.
good Elvis. Man.
I saw him riding down the street earlier, actually, before as I was on my way here.
Got to have at least, isn't it in the rule book there must be at least one Elvis per parade, per
Yes.
night?
We haven't seen any at any parade but this
I
one,
know,
though.
I know.
At least I haven't.
No, it's one of the better Elvises we've seen. And right now, I believe we have John Krebs' truck group coming up here.
Music from a timeless era. Got another singer on the back of the truck.
This is Country Carpet, Floors and More. You know, you travel around these small towns, and there's a lot of great businesses out here. Family-owned businesses have been around for years, doing a great job serving the local communities. And of course, you know, sponsorship, community involvement is what it's all about. Now we have Cub Pack 41. That's a pretty nice-looking banner there.
That
guys.
is.
A little fall Halloween-looking deal there. I think this is the guys coming here.
Look at that float. It's a car on
Remember,
the back of a car.
I'm looking at the flame decals
Yes.
on the side. You know, that was always a cool thing. This is
Great attention to
Cub
detail.
Scout Pack 41. But the flame decals were a really important thing
Maryland
to
in the
put on
back.
your bicycle, car, and stuff like that. Pretty cool.
Look at those little leather jackets.
All the
That's
dudes,
great. Where
little
do you find
Fonzes
those?
there. Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I love this theme, Dan. I love when these parades, you know, it's not just a Halloween theme. They make it a little more specific. Everybody can get involved.
And this is Bangor Chiropractic. A nice job of decorating their
Great
vehicle
job.
tonight. Oh,
Got a creepy witch
and
and hanging out the back.
a witch in the window. And I believe this is the East Bangor Volunteer Fire Company. Pretty interesting float coming up here.
Switching up instead of bringing the whole giant fire truck.
Yeah,
they
I
made
think
their
it's
own
great.
Float.
Yeah.
Now, this is a scary one, I would say. Sticking away from the 50s.
Oh, you know, these
firemen.
firemen, how they get sometimes, you know. So,
Yeah, they get
no, you know, volunteer
too fun
fire,
for them.
no, really, volunteer firefighters, I mean, hats off to these folks. They get calls all times of the day and night to go out and fight these fires. They're saving people's homes and all of their possessions, not to mention people's lives, for
All
sure.
meanwhile
And,
terrifying everyone here at the Bangor
Well,
Parade with their
oh, this
float.
is, you know, like
they
the
definitely
night-
win for scariest
That's
float,
right.
I would
yeah,
say.
definitely win for scariest float, for sure.
There is one of those categories.
Let's see who this is. Dada Auto Sales.
They also brought along a band.
Yeah.
That's what they call us, Uncle Smiley.
You're listening to Uncle Smiley.
See, the beauty is you have a little generator on the back. You can have amplifiers, and guitars.
What's up, everybody? How you doing out there? Woo, make some noise.
Now, this is the best candy throwing vehicle that you could want. Look at this. With
Absolutely.
the side
Just
doors
sit
open.
right in the back.
See, look at that. Complete comfort. Perfect. Of course, Dada Auto Sales brought out a lot of nice rides here tonight. There's your.
Here's more of my dream car. If
Dada
I could just
Chrysler
have one of
Jeep
these,
back.
that'd be great.
That's a great color too. Wow. They would definitely see you coming.
Absolutely. Can't be missed.
You know, a lot of the old Jeeps were just like two-door. These four-door Jeeps are nice. A lot of room, a lot of power.
Beautiful.
Yeah, terrific.
My dream one's the black on black, just like this one we just saw here.
Well,
White's not bad either, though.
so many of the other car brands, you know, they've changed, you know. I know a lot of the Jeep Cherokee and stuff has changed a lot, but the
Wrangler has
Wranglers
not.
kind of stayed the same, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
My dad had a Wrangler growing up, and I just have such fond memories of sitting in the back, having my hair go all over the place with the top down.
Well, it appears we have some zombies on the street tonight. This is Pie to Die For, your neighborhood coffee shop, and more.
What a great way to stick with the theme of your cafe.
Now, I always forget, zombies always limp. Do they limp with the right? Or no, they just sort of slide along. That's how they kind of work. I don't know if there's an actual zombie walk to have. And another great car dealership. This is Regal Dodge, the Ram specialists.
It's one of those cars that hasn't changed much either throughout the years.
That's a great truck. That's definitely a guy truck, Ram. And you could put all your toys in the back.
I've always wanted to own a pickup truck, but I drove one just a few weeks ago. I'm a little small for it, I'd have to say. It was a little difficult to drive for me.
I was going to get a truck. My wife said, you don't have to ride.
No?
She said, I'm not riding it.
Oh.
We don't do-
No, I would definitely ride in this.
Yes. Very nice truck.
Slowly making their way.
They're kind of pausing here a little bit to give the youngsters a chance to pick up some of the candy that's been flying around here. Although they've done a pretty good job.
Seems the parents are keeping them in check a bit. Sometimes you'll see the parents go out and get the candy instead of having their kids run out.
In case you just joined us, this is Dan Ross along with Gwen Begley bringing you the Bangor Elks Halloween Parade back to the 50s here tonight on a beautiful Thursday evening. Summer-like temperatures.
This is a gorgeous car.
Also another beautiful car from Regal Dodge.
Is it the Dodge Charger, I believe?
I believe so.
I haven't seen the new one, so this is first peek of that.
There's more Regal coming up around the corner here. These are all Regal.
All 59, not modified.
It's amazing over the years, growing up there were no SUVs, I mean, if you wanted to take a big family out, you had the old station wagon with 3 seats in it. That was it,
I remember my mom had a station wagon. It had the 2 seats in the trunk that were facing the back ways.
Yep.
That was one of the coolest things, being able to ride in that and watch the cars behind you.
Or you'd see people towing RVs with like a Crown Vic, or something like that. They, none of the big towing vehicles like they have now with, the vans and the big trucks. I mean, these things can tow a lot. And what's amazing too is the gas mileage too has gone up. In the old days, it was not a lot. See, I always thought it would be cool to have your own private detailer who would get your car
Wouldn't
looking
that
like
be
that.
nice?
Every morning
Wouldn't
you'd
that
come
be
out
nice?
and they'd be wiping it off with
That
a
would be
chamois
great.
cloth.
I think I got that for
Hold it
Christmas
in the door
once. My
for
mom
you.
got me a
That's right.
coupon for car detailing, and I never went to go get it done.
I know some folks though, they're real, fastidious about keeping their cars looking good, blacking those tires. And,
It's not me. I live out of my car.
No, not me.
Not
I
me.
change the oil, keep the mechanical
Yes,
stuff going.
I keep the car running,
Yep.
but
yep.
as for looks, that's a completely different
Try
story.
to give it a bath.
Yeah, maybe
when I
every like
can,
once,
but,
6
yeah.
months.
And this is still Regal. It's a big dump truck coming
They
up here.
brought out their whole lot.
They did. It's great.
Show off the vehicles.
Well, that's
I'm sure
cool.
they
A
have
lot
available.
of dealerships don't handle the big trucks. These are big Ram trucks, you know. In this area, we've got a lot of working folks that need trucks like this to do the work that they do. So that's a beauty. Turbo diesel.
Got a superhero princess theme in the back.
Captain America. I was saying the other day, this is the truck I like to call, not the truck I like to have show up when I don't call.
Yes.
You know, it's different.
So they brought the tow truck and they brought something to show off on the back of it, which
That's
is
pretty
a
cool.
beautiful Charger.
Yeah. It's a nice ride.
Now I wouldn't mind having one of those too. Maybe a Jeep and one of these would be nice.
Yeah, that could be your like weekend date car, you
Yeah,
know.
it could
Oh,
be.
yeah. And your Jeep could be you get to work and get to football games in the snow car. And
Get to show it off.
that's right. That's right. And we have Wind Gap Chevy coming up here next.
We got some Jeeps, Dodge, and now we get to see some Chevys.
You know, it's great that these dealerships are around these areas. You know, everybody says small towns, but you know, it's a pretty heavily populated area up here around Wind Gap, Bangor, Penargil, and you know, the dealerships do a great job. You don't want to have to drive forever to get your car serviced. And,
I have to say, I've never heard so many car commercials as when I moved to the Lehigh Valley. It's every single commercial is one of these dealerships kind of promoting themselves and trying to get you to come out.
gotta have your car. Gotta have your car. It's a big car area. That's a serious truck there. That's nice.
Very nice.
And we got a big dog here. I'm gonna see who this is coming up here.
J-Dog Productions.
This is J-Dog. That's right, J-Dog Promotions. Very good.
Promotions Productions. Same thing. I believe the dog has a Christmas hat on. It's
Yeah,
Santa
oh,
for
I see.
Halloween.
J-Dog does screen printing, embroidery, graphic design, that type of thing. It's great. Spirit wear. Spirit wear. It's for your team. This is Blue Valley Rescue Squad.
Here are the lights that we've been missing during this parade.
Not a lot of sirens tonight, but a lot of
No.
lights. That's good.
Now,
That's
I never
good.
seen this color
Great color.
on a rescue vehicle before.
Licensed EMS agency in the state of Pennsylvania. Again, another part of Blue Valley Rescue. A nice little ice cream. That's an ice cream float.
Literally, that's very clever.
Isn't that great? Ice cream float.
We've got a Ninja Turtle in the back throwing candy.
Very good.
Maybe they'll get him a root beer float after this for
These
all his
kids are-
hard work.
Kids are having a great time tonight. This is great. Of course, another rescue squad vehicle coming up here. We got a little bit of a siren there tonight. Not a lot. Not a lot.
Not as much as the fire trucks that going on.
Great crowd here tonight in Bangor, Pennsylvania. I love this town up here. These are great towns.
This is my
Great
first
people.
time up here in the main kind of town part of Bangor. I've been to the high school.
Well, years ago, this was a big textile area. Still is to a certain degree, but a lot of great, hardworking people living up in this area. And of course, you know, right at the foot of the Blue Mountains, and you know, with the leaves really starting to get into full
So I was just going to say on my
run
drive
right now.
here, I
It's
was like, wow.
great to
it's
come up here.
beautiful.
There's a lot of great places to see, a lot of nice restaurants. Now we have the Bangor area school district buses, and they're looking for school bus drivers. Positions open immediately.
What would we do without school bus drivers?
Gotta have them.
Gotta have them.
Gotta have them. I still remember my first grade school bus driver. He had a farm.
I do too.
He took us out to his farm.
Really?
Yeah. And hey, we know these guys.
Hey.
These are the Service Electric cable TV guys. I think that's Bill Albert. There's Bill driving the truck. Bill's been with Service Electric forever. Had the opportunity to interview Bill. He's a great guy, great family guy. Happy to have him as part of the Service Electric family. Of course, Service Electric, family owned and operated for 3 generations, working on the 4th. First in the nation with cable.
Some Wizard of Oz characters. It looks like it's a family came out. I love seeing families dress up as a theme together. It's so much
looks
fun.
like we have mom and dad, the kids, and maybe grandma. That's great.
They did
And
really
finally,
good with
we
their
have the
costumes.
Bangor Fire Department. I don't know what that thing's called on the front, but it's really cool. That fan thing.
Yes.
A lot of the trucks have that.
This
You
is
definitely, if you look in your rearview mirror, you know those guys
Yes.
are behind you and to move over.
I'm surprised this is our first fire truck that we've seen today.
There we go. Now we're getting
There's
some
the
sirens.
siren. Wouldn't be a parade without fire trucks and sirens, would it?
I was saying the other day, my grandson, he would just hop in there and go wherever they're going. He loves fire trucks. He makes his mom take him up to the fire department at least once a month because he just wants to sit behind the steering wheel for a few moments. You know.
I mean, it's cool even for adults. I think I would love to just
Oh, it's really
hear
neat.
about how everything works and jump in there and pretend for a few seconds that I'm a firefighter.
Well, the big thing about these guys is it's all about time. You know, they need to fire all that sophisticated equipment up in a hurry because you don't have a lot of time with a
No.
fire. And they're used to getting out there and getting it done all hours of the day and night. You know, sometimes in the city, close to a lot of the, you know, local fire departments. Out here in the country, these guys got to be ready to roll, you know,
Yeah.
and get out in some remote area. They have to be able to get there and get you the help you need.
This looks like more of the more modern fire trucks that I've seen.
We should bring in our fire department expert at some point to tell us, well, this is a such and such truck. and
Yeah.
This is what goes in here, you know.
Because I have no idea. I can just admire
Well,
these trucks.
you have the
and
big
how they're
ladder
put
trucks, but
together.
then, you know, like what's in the back of that one,
Yeah.
you know? And there's some trucks that are just pumpers, you know? They're big water pumps in there that can you know, hook up to the hydrants or whatever water supply. Maybe even, you know, hooked up to someone's pond in their house,
Yeah.
you know, and out in their farm and pump water to fight fires. They have to be ready to do it in many different ways.
And you have the ones with the ladder trucks.
Yep.
Of course, shout out to anyone who dares go up in that ladder. I always see them fixing, you know, electrical wires if there's an
Well, when
outage of a storm.
the extremes that they have to work in, you know, imagine being in an insulated fireproof suit on a 90-degree day fighting a fire. That
Now
would be
you're
tough.
wondering what's inside of the truck.
A lot of
Here
cool
we go.
stuff.
We can just see right
Yeah,
here.
your air packs and your breathing apparatus. This, of course, all the different pumps. That's nice they opened that up for everybody to see. That's pretty cool. A lot of cool toys.
I would not want to be in charge of that. That's very intimidating to see all those buttons.
Well, like anything else, I'm sure everybody has a job. They have, you know, apprenticeship programs when these guys start out. There's rookies, and, you know, you have to start out somewhere until the older guys teach you what to do.
What I like about this kind of display of the fire department, they have firefighters alongside the trucks kind of saying hi to kids, keeping them safe, ushering them, you know, out of the street and kind of showing off their uniforms. It's always really cool because you know these kids look up to firefighters.
Ah, the hats, the hats. It's the, you got to have the hat. Yeah, it's a cool hat. So you talk about the extremes, you know. Imagine being out fighting a fire when it's 20 degrees and you're covered with ice, you know, pumping that water out there. So guys really do a great job. That is a big ladder truck.
Yes, it is. Used for fighting fires and bringing cats down from trees.
Well, yeah, that you could probably bring a cougar down with that ladder. Yeah.
Yes, you could.
You get up there pretty high. They brought everybody out here tonight for this.
They did. They even brought Santa Claus, which
I see him.
see
I
in
see
the
him rounding
distance.
the corner.
He'll be making his way around. That was always a great part in 5th grade or so, 4th grade, when the fire department from all around the county would come out and bring Santa Claus every Christmas. The kids would run around the fire truck, learn everything, and of course, to top it all off, you get to meet Santa Claus.
I think you see him rounding the corner here. Where is he? There he is.
There he is.
There's Santa.
You can hear the kids screaming. They're excited about that.
Well, it won't be long. Well, that's going to finish our Bangor Halloween parade, brought to you by the Bangor Elks. Back to the 50s, our theme tonight. Dan Ross along with Gwen Begley, and we had a real nice time here tonight. Bringing you this coverage on Service Electric. Thanks for joining us. Our director, Dwayne Long, the rest of the crew, our lighting guys, everyone helped make this possible. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. You be safe out there tonight. Take care.